All right, we're live. I changed it midstream from COVID or coronavirus pandemic over whatever. Let's see here. To oil contango madness, because that seems to be the most pressing issue at the moment, although there are two big stories today. One is with the Wuhan coronavirus, COVID-19. Is the pandemic over? Now that we have this new information from, let's see if we can get the report up here. Hold on. I need to get my act together here. We're going to go to charts. No, that's not what we want. Let's do a search, right? Let's do a search for Stanford COVID-19 study. All right, and that's this right here. And the person that we're really interested in, actually, no, we're interested in Sunny too. She's nice. But we're interested in Dr. E.O. I think this is him. Yes, here we go. This is the guy that we're interested in. Now, we're not going to, but this is the guy. This is the dude. Right there. So he is the co-director at Stanford Medicine. One of the most published researchers in the country, if not, in this particular field anyways. And he has done a study on COVID-19 and its transmissibility, its infectiousness. And here's the killer part of that study. They found out that it may be that there are 50 to more than 80 times the number of people that are actually infected than what is being reported in the Johns Hopkins reporting of cases in the United States and all over the world. 80 times more. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, the biggest takeaway from that is that it means, let's see, I'm going to get back to me. The biggest takeaway is that it means that if you were then to change the denominator, total number of people versus the total number of deaths, it brings the mortality rate down comparable to the common flu, or even less. Now, that's not to say that this isn't still a virulent, very dangerous pathogen. It is. Because of its infectious rate, its R0 is up around 6 or even higher. And so it spreads like wildfire through a population. In fact, you may already have coronavirus even though you don't know it. What it means is that the number of people that are asymptomatic is a huge, huge number, way bigger than what we thought before. And that the mortality rate is somewhere near 0.1 or 0.2%, maybe lower. The way this doctor has described it is that you have a greater chance of dying from coronavirus than just commuting to work. All right, think about that. So that is one of the stories. And that is a huge story because what it means is that we've approached this pandemic all wrong. There was really no need to have a lockdown, at least for us. There definitely should have been a lockdown for those people who are totally vulnerable to the virus. the elderly, the people with pre-existing conditions, morbidly obese, those people, they definitely need to be guarded because they are the prime targets of this virus. Now, that doesn't also mean that younger people that are in good health can't die. I mean, they are statistical anomalies. They are the tail risks. But they are such a minority of the case. 99 point something % are in that previous category, the latter category, or the former category. And that's just the way it is. We have totally, well, and it was mostly because we didn't have the data yet, but we have looked at this all wrong. Now, why did hospitals fill up? They filled up because of the rate of infection. The rate of infection and also the fear that had been injected into every person through the media. Both of those things caused us to, overreact or react wrong and flood the hospitals. It would have been better off if people that had it didn't go to the hospital, because there it becomes like a virus petri dish. You are just breathing in. I mean, that's one of the reasons why a lot of these medical professionals also caught it and became ill, because it was it was like an oversaturation of the virus onto them. Our bodies just couldn't fight it fast enough. Would have been better had we done sort of like a triage or other types of events where we kept people apart. So that's where we're at. Now, what does it mean? It means, I think, that we can start going back to work. That this pandemic is over, at least for most people. It is over. No other way to say it. Now, getting on to what this is all about. The oil crisis. Can you imagine? Oil right now is priced at minus $37 a barrel. You say, Ernie, how can that be? Oh, it's less. What are we at? Minus $38.48. Oh, check this out. That's oil today. That's the oil futures. Let's go to the current month. We'll go to May, which is the current month. Oh, geez. Will it even do it? Come on. It's not even going to give me a price. Let's see if I can refresh the screen altogether. And let's see if we can get a quote. Nothing. I can't even get a quote. What is going on? But you can see the price here. This is negative territory. Zero is right here. Zero right there. Oh my God. And that, let's see, maybe we can bring up the CME website and check that out. And this will give you all the prices for the current contracts. All right. So May is currently priced at minus $38. June, the next month, as you can see, most of the volume is in June, because that means that's going to be the new front month contract as we move from May to June contract. But May, there are a lot of people that are trapped in that now at minus $38. They are getting raped. For those people who are short oil, congratulations. You are our new multimillionaires. The spread, holy crap, the spread is the spread. The spread is almost $60. Can you believe that? The spread from 1 month to the next, when it's usually just a few cents, is almost $60 friggin' dollars. And of course, we have Contango, as you can see, normal, what looks like normal Contango going further out. But that is, right now, these people are caught. They cannot take delivery. Well, they don't want to take, either. They basically, they used to do sort of cash settlement on these contracts, but right now they're not taking cash settlement. It's either you take delivery, in other words, they deliver all that oil right to your house or wherever you're going to store it, or you take the loss. One or the other. You can't roll it. Why would you roll it for a $60 difference? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. That is absolutely the most dramatic thing I have ever seen, other than the flash crash of 2010. There it is. Look at that oil. It looks like a dipstick. That's what it looks like. A dipstick being stuck right through the heart of America. What are we going to do? What does that mean? Does that mean that oil companies and producers are... Does that mean oil executives are jumping out of windows? Are they committing suicide today? Are they committing harry-carry right now? That looks like suicide incarnate. That right there. Suicide. That's a suicide note right there. Though that represents tons of investors that have just lost everything. That is companies that are completely bankrupt. Gone. Holy crap. Trader Glenn says, I believe it will cause a few, if not more than a few, futures brokers to go bankrupt. How about most of them? The futures bank. What about the producers? Holy crap! Oh, he retracted the message. Oh, put it back out there. Okay. Raziel says, how does rolling work? Does it become $60 higher without you getting any of the gains? Correct. You just roll into the next contract at the new price. Of course, you have to take the loss that you have accumulated in the other contract. I don't know why you would do that. Why not just get out? You're going to have to take the loss one way, or if you have someplace to put the oil, I guess. You don't want to be a doom and gloomer. It's not a doom and gloomer. You're just looking at it and saying, there it is. I mean, I can see it. Everybody can see it. Hitchhiker says, I work in the transportation industry. Truckload rates went down dramatically. Volume went down dramatically when oil went below 30-40 in 2016. Well, only if the airlines had some cash. They could go out and they could lock in some fantastic prices for oil. Of course, they'd have to get it refined. Well, right now, May, Mr. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Earth, May looks like just a normal Contango. It's at like $22 or something. $21. It looks like the way it should look. But we've had this double whammy with this complete lack of demand for oil, plus OPEC, the Saudis and the Russians, last month going into this production war where they just overproduced. So we had no demand and overproduction. Not just overproduction, but peak production. Will a war start now? Against who? Against ourselves? Who do you go to war against? I don't know, but it doesn't look good. Holy crap. So let's see. I'm going to go further back and look at some of the virus comments. Not too many. Passion says, hello, Ernie. I'm sure people are not afraid of secondary effects of the virus when science shows we can get problems on different organs. No? Yeah, but that's if it affects you. Now, we don't know everything yet, and I don't claim to really know much about the further effects, but most people are asymptomatic. The virus just doesn't do anything to them. It seems to only attack people who have severely compromised immune systems and failing organs and other complications. But a healthy immune system just mops this virus right up. Now, are there going to be lasting effects of the virus? That I don't know. You know, so for instance, is there going to be something like an HIV virus that stays in your system for the rest of your life, or herpes or something like that? I don't know. Or, chicken pox. And then you develop shingles later in life. I really don't know. So maybe those people that got it, when they get older, and if they still have the virus and they start developing old people's diseases, will they get the virus? I don't know. Really just don't know. I don't think anybody really knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows where the left sock goes. There's a little Ren and Stimpy there for you. Oil and the virus. So the pandemic, as far as I'm concerned, is over. Over. We need to get back to work. We need to get back to work and start using some of that energy that is basically free right now. Free energy. Start using that. Start using it up. What is I don't know what this does to something like USO. What does that do to USO? I mean, USO is down pretty hard, but it's still not zero, you know? I mean, is USO a good buy right now? That's what I got to wonder, you know? I mean, why wouldn't someone buy USO at $3.73 when just a week ago, a few weeks ago, it was, $13. And a few years ago, it was $120. Why wouldn't you buy that? Can someone tell me why you wouldn't buy that? Hearing that USO ETF is going to collapse. Okay, but all right. I haven't tried to buy any. I don't know if anybody's trying to buy some. What is your opinion on the oil crack and the impact it can have on stock market and gold? Damned if I don't think anybody knows right now. I don't know how to quantify this. All I can tell you is that there are a bunch of people that have hedge funds and also people in the cash market that, I mean, I guess if you're, you're a buyer, you're a refinery, you're doing really well because you're buying oil and you're buying oil at this unbelievably low price. But if you're a producer, you're like, you're dead 10 times over because you're selling oil, and so you have to sell it at this low price. So, those are the people in the cash market. Now, the speculators, I don't know. I guess there are some speculators out there that shorted it and some that were long, thinking they were going to catch a low in the oil. You tell me. Tell me what the hell is going to happen. There's going to be winners and losers. Yeah, what the heck is going along? Everything is just going to hell. Yeah, I know USO invests in futures, but can it go to zero? And usually these ETFs, they don't have just one contract. They'll buy 2-3 months out. So they may be okay with at least a portion of it, but have to take a hit on some of it. So that's what I would expect. So I don't know. I got an itchy ear. What does that mean? What does it mean when you have an itchy ear? I know that when you have an itchy nose, that means you're going to get into a fight. What does it mean when you have an itchy ear? Now, what's this going to do to individual countries like Canada? What is it going to do to Canada? Canada is, their main export is oil. They are, or Iran. Iran has got to be beside themselves. So, that Trader Glenn, that's what I was talking about, being either a producer or a consumer. So, if you're a refiner, you're a consumer, and if you're buying oil, then you're going. If you're buying, then you're buying futures. You're buying oil, or you're buying futures. So if you're buying futures cheap, right? If you're buying futures cheap, unless you've already bought them, then you guarantee oil at a really cheap price. But we're right near the. I don't know how that would work. Can you take delivery on something? I don't know. It's never happened before, so I don't know what's going to happen. You think my sound is off? Is my sound off? Is my sound off? No, my sound is going. Yeah, Audrey. It must be you, because I can see the little meter going like this. I just heard that the cheapest used oil tanker is about $42 million. I don't know that the cost of a oil tanker is really the factor right now. The real cost of oil tankers is in the renting of the tanks inside the oil tanker. Where are you going to put all this oil? What we really need to do to solve this problem is just say, screw this pandemic. Let's just get everybody back to work and start consuming energy. Let's see. Usually I look at crude oil and the 10-year yield on the Treasury for the moment. Nobody needs oil for the moment. At least 3 billion people in lockdown. I mean, seems like 1929 and worse. No, but see, in the 29 crash, people couldn't just go back to work. Here, we could just go back to work. Just start everything up again. If we don't have to really worry about, catching this virus, if it's really not an issue with most people, then let's just go back to friggin' work. So a producer sells in the futures market. So someone who is producing that is selling their product, they are also selling the future. All right? A refiner is buying the oil, so they buy futures to hedge themselves. Let's see. So I guess in a way that should help the producers. The producers should be, if they hedged correctly, they should be protected. And the refiners, they're the ones that are getting smacked. Trump, is it true Saudi is hedging their oil positions, and so it's not affecting them so like I said, if you're a producer, if you're selling oil, then you're selling futures. So always think about that, like a farmer who grows corn and then wants to sell it to market, they sell futures against their crop to protect themselves in case the price of corn goes down, so that when they go to the market, they make money off of the short futures, and it artificially elevates the price that they sell the corn at. Same thing with oil. So a producer of oil, an oil rig, they'll sell the oil and they'll sell futures against that oil. Garza says, seems like the drop today is caused by USO ETF operators. They own 25% of the CL contracts last week. No, well, the problem is that they can't. It's not just their problem. The problem is that they're in a spiral. There is no demand for the oil, yet there is this huge amount of oil, and so the price is coming down. They're not allowed to take a cash settlement, right? They're saying you got to take it all, or you just basically take the loss. I mean, no demand is like an understatement. There's just no demand out. And see, it's a double whammy: no demand and overproduction. Which is really weird. We knew about all of this a few weeks ago when the Saudis and Russia were going nuts on overproducing. And that's why I'm wondering why we couldn't figure this out, that this would be the eventual occurrence. I don't know. All I know is that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be hurting. A lot of people that are going to be hurting. So what we need to do is we need to start using oil. We need to start consuming and creating energy. That's really the only solution. And the way you do that is put everybody to work. Everybody go back to work. Just go back to work. Do something. Do something that will consume energy. It's cheap. You can afford it. Get out there and drive your car. I don't know anything about banks seizing Shell's assets. So that's it. Everybody should get in their car and just drive anywhere. Just drive across the state and back. drive around the neighborhood in circles over and over and over again, consume more gas. Oil is old news. Elon Musk must solve the energy crisis. I doubt that. But that is another piece of news. There was some fake news attributed to Elon Musk, and that was that CNN had claimed that he didn't deliver on some promised medical equipment when he did, and they didn't bother checking. And so Elon Musk says, I can't believe CNN is still a thing. That gave Elon Musk a lot of brownie points, and so therefore they rewarded him by boosting Tesla stock. So in Europe, the lockdown is breaking down. Spring is here, and people just pouring out of their houses. So lockdown or not, we want to live. And it's not going to hurt you. That's the thing. It's not going to hurt you to get outside. You're not going to catch the virus. And if you do, ain't nothing going to happen to you. Or the chances are nothing's going to happen to you. The virus is a dud for most people. An absolute dud. The mortality rate is lower, as low or lower than influenza. If you're under 65 without any ailments, even if you have ailments, actually, the stats were that even if you have ailments under 65, that the chances of you dying are less than you driving to work. So if you died yet driving to work, you're probably good. Or we could set up a large race around the USA with 50,000 cars racing in a circle. Yeah, I like that. Just go in a circle. You know? Go to the beach, come back. Go to the beach, come back. Go out and order some food, go out and pick it up, come back. Well, I agree with that, Mr. Fire Racing. It's not about the virus. It's about being controlled. At least that's the case with some of the governors. They really get a taste of that authoritarianism. All the Democrat governors, by the way. One Republican governor too, but mostly the Democrat governors. In my town, southern Spain, only 2 people died out of a population of 78,000. Most of the deaths are coming from Madrid. And I can guarantee you that they're all old people with ailments. Coronavirus is a dud. Ignore it. You don't need a mask. Go out and play. Go to work. Those are the facts. I think we still have to be, diligent and careful, and we should probably wear masks and all that stuff. We still have our elderly that we have to protect, so we have to figure out how to protect them and at the same time get back to work. We can practice social spacing, whatever we have to do. Try not to bring them to the hospital if they get sick, etc., etc. I wonder how many other deaths are piled up with corona cases. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But apparently, corona is nowhere as potent at least for most people, as we thought. Let's see. Knowing that there are a lot of asymptomatic people, how do we take responsibility to do like it was nothing and possibly infect? I just said that. You have to protect them somehow. But we were approaching this all wrong. We need to protect those people that need to be protected, but we don't have to not go to work. We don't have to do a lockdown. And that's why I think that once everybody starts going to work, this economy is going to blast off. All right. That's about all I have to say. I've been on here too long. Two big stories. Oil is negative for the month. The month of the May contract is negative by $38. No idea how that's all going to work out. Coronavirus, there was a study coming out. This is the other big story. And we found that up to 85 times more people were infected with it, which implies that 99-point-something% of people are asymptomatic, and less than 0.1% people actually, it has a less than 0.1% mortality rate. That's the other big story. Two huge stories today. It's like Freakonomics. All right. Do I know about Texas Pacific Land Trust? No. I have no idea. Why didn't Wall Street circuit breaker the trip and stop the downfall? I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. Maybe there's... I've never seen oil circuit break. I mean, they have circuit breakers on the indexes. They, in quotes, are going to make those who do not take the vaccine bad murderers, and the people who are being conditioned will go alone to their programming, pushing bad English. I can't read it. In Texas, you have to wear a mask to a state park, but not a grocery store. Yeah. That's kind of screwed up. Yeah, Raziel, I agree. I don't think I've ever seen a circuit breaker on oil, so there's probably not one. Get back to work, okay. Use measures to protect, I agree. Would it go via massive tests? I don't think you have to do massive tests. I think you only have to do now random sampling to, assuming that all these people are infected, there's no reason to do massive tests. All you have to do is just do random sampling, because we're not any longer trying to figure out who has it and where the hot spots are and all this other bullshit. We're just trying to figure out, what is the actual nature of the disease. No, I don't agree with that test positive, no work bullshit. Because, unless, what I would say is that if you're in one of the compromised classes, you have a compromised immune system or over 65 or something like that, morbidly obese, maybe you should stay home for a little bit until the coast is clear. Work from home. And this whole idea of getting everyone vaccinated, ain't nobody sticking a fucking vaccine in my veins. No fucking way, especially if it's made by Bill Gates and his globalist Chinese and Indian team. No friggin' way are they putting a vaccine in me. I wonder if these lockdowns are going to become the norm during flu season. No, because we learned, hopefully we'll learn from this, that a lockdown was not the answer. Yeah, I don't know about oil, if it can drop lower. I look at it where it is now, and I'm just flabbergasted. I don't know what to make of it. It dropped all the way down to $40. Now it's come back up a bit. It's called informal English. No, it's called a lack of being able to write in a way that someone can read it. No, take the vaccine, then go to prison and get forced vaccine. So I'm wondering if, someone was talking to me about this, if you'll have to get some sort of sticker on your passport in order to be able to get on a plane that shows that you had the vaccine. That would suck. No vaccine for me. Yeah, I don't know if oil is going to bounce here. But why not? Who knows? Who the hell knows? It's just crazy. All right. All right. So that's really all I have to say. I was going to talk a little bit. I was going to produce a video on the 3 rules of trading for asymmetric gains, but let me talk a little. Let me say that I'm going to open up 10 spots. I'm going to open up 10 spots on my Asymmetric Advisor newsletter, and we're going to have a webinar on Saturday. And I wasn't prepared to say this, but I'm going to produce a video a little bit later, and it will have details there. If you're not already a member of our Discord channel, there should be a link below here. Go there, sign up for the Discord channel. You'll meet hundreds of other traders and investors, and get access to special deals and information. Ernie, I'm sure you read about ID 2020. No, I have no idea what that is. Sounds like a conspiracy. Maybe you're kind of referring to this idea that you have to have some sort of badge. You should use the term informal English. It's the polite way of telling somebody that they can't write or speak. Maybe, trader Glenn, except that I am not one of these mamby-pamby, politically correct bullshit artists. I just say what I think. Flaming Fire Racing, a.k.a. the 404 man, whatever that means. That's too long of a ID. It's all in the works as we speak. Be good, little sheep. Ha ha ha, yes, sir. Please give me vaccine. Please let me take your new digital money. I'll go along with whatever you want. All hail Satan. Yep, that's pretty much it. Bill Gates, evil incarnate. Are companies like Shell and Exxon going to dump because of oil prices? So I don't think producers are going to get hurt as much by this. I think that refiners, at least from the way I'm thinking in terms of hedging, and a lot of speculators are going to get hurt. Hedge funds are going to get hurt. It does not surprise me that Bill Gates refused to have his children vaccinated. He's a scumbag. All right. That's all I've got to say. I had to come on today and warn you all, alert you all to the two big stories of the day. Oil and the pandemic is over. Oil has gone deep earth, and the pandemic is over. Any take on China-USA dominance with what is happening? USA declining? No, USA is not declining. China going up? No. All wrong. Trump being more and more aggressive in conference. What I see is we will start refashioning our global supply chains and bringing back a lot of the manufacturing here, and slowly deplete China. Slowly bloodlet them. They deserve it. That's all I've got to say for today. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. See ya.